Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a disappointing products video. So I did start collecting a few things that recently I've been trying and just are not working for me. Some of these I bought with my own money, some of them I received in PR. I'll kind of let you know as we go along just so you are aware, but whether I get them for free or not, I always give you my honest opinion. So anyway, yeah, so recently I have come across quite a few products that just have not worked for me, and I try to just set them aside in a bag until I get enough to talk about. So that's what we're doing today. Ooh, I got a lot in this bag, you guys. All right, before we get started, real quick, if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you choose to subscribe while you're here. But let's go ahead and jump in, because like I said, I have a lot. So I want to start with, I have a few groupings of products that I received together in a PR package. So I want to start with this one because you guys would have just seen me do a full review on the line, but this is from Clarins, and all three of these products did not work. They did send me a couple other products in the line, but these are the three that stood out to me as being bad. The first thing that they sent this here is called their Instant Light Lip Comfort Oil, and I've been wanting to try these oils, and I might still try a different shade, but I don't understand why they sent me this shade for spring. This is not a spring shade. It is a really dark berry color. Now it does go on lighter, obviously, because it's a stain than what it looks like in here, but it's still really a dark berry color, which to me is not a spring color. That's just not spring to me. Maybe fall, winter, if they sent me this, I might be more inclined to use it more. But also, by the way, the shade number is number 8 Blackberry. But also the other thing that I don't like about it is that because it's an oil, I feel like the color kind of spreads outward. So that what ends up happening is the darkest color goes on the outer parts of your lips, and then the inner part of your lip looks like there's no color on. So it just looks kind of weird after a few minutes. Now, the reason I said I would still consider trying other colors, I like the way it felt on the lips. I would consider trying a nude color, because I feel like that separating thing would not be as big of an issue with a lighter color, but because of how dark this color is, it looks strange. With a lighter nude color, it might still work, if that makes sense. So anyway, for me, this was just a total fail. Next up, this guy here, but this is their Sos Primer, and it's supposed to give a sun-kissed look. Now, the thing about this primer is it is just so dark, and I did actually show myself applying this in that Clarins video, so if you want to see that, I'll link it above. But it is so dark for my skin tone, I'll show you guys, and it's very orange and patchy, and it sticks to all of my textures. Now, I feel like maybe it would work better on a little bit darker skin tone, I'm not the fairest person in the whole world. This would definitely not work on you if you are porcelain fair. But I am a light complexion, so maybe a medium complexion might be able to use this better, or someone with a very warm undertone. I have a neutral undertone, so it just looks super orange on me. I can't imagine though, if you have a cool undertone, what that's gonna do to you. The last thing from Clarins is this pen. I like the idea of this. I really like the idea of this. This is called their Stylo 4 colors. You get 3 eye pencils in here and then 1 lip pencil, and it works just like those old school pens that, you have the different little sliders here, and when you slide it, it brings down the product. And then you do have to kind of twist it to get it to come up. The thing about this is I feel like it's super dry. It pulls and tugs on my eye. I tried using it on my lower lash line and I tried using it on my upper lash line, and it just pulled really bad. And then for the lip liner, the color is not a color that I will wear very often. I'll just show you guys. It's a pretty bright pink. I just don't wear that color pink too often. I'll wear it every once in a while. It's not awful, but it's just a color I don't see myself reaching for. And again, it's super dry and it pulled up my lips when I put it on. I did try pairing these together too, by the way, the lip liner with this, because they sent it to me as a collection. It's supposed to be their spring launch, and I just don't think those colors go together. I don't know. I don't know why they picked the blackberry for spring. I don't know. It's throwing me off. But anyway, this is kind of expensive too. I want to say it's $30, so I just don't think that it's worth it. I just don't. There's way better eyeliners out there. And yes, it's a cute idea to have all of them in one. Because if you're traveling, it's like, great, I can bring 3 eye pencils and 1 lip pencil in one little pen. And yeah, it's not a little pen. It's a pretty big size, but still it takes up less room than bringing 4 individual pens. But they're not good, so it's not really worth it. All right, let's move on from Clarins. They're never gonna send me PR again, which is fine. But the next thing that I wanted to show you guys is something I purchased with my own money, and this is from Makeup Forever. I have talked about this a few times in different videos, but this is the Starlit palette, the Starlit glitter palettes, the US version. They did release a different version in Europe, which I don't know why they did. The one in Europe had way more eyeshadow in it, some mattes and glitters. This one's just glitter and a lot less product. I don't know why they did that, but anyway, this is what it looks like on the inside. It is now discontinued. It wasn't available for very long, and I pretty much know why. You're only getting 6 shades in here, and this is this is a big palette. It's bigger than like my Lorac Pro palettes, and you're only getting 6 shades. Like, it's a lot of wasted space. And every single shade in here is just like a shimmery top coat. So that is what you're getting, is just like a glitter top coat. And yes, they are pretty. Let me do one you can see better. But they're sheer glitter. And they don't stay super well. I mean, I feel like a lot of brands are coming out with these glitter top coat products. They don't stay very well. They don't add a lot of color. So, I mean, it's just not a product for me. I know some people just like that look of just like a sheer glitter and maybe like a bronzy face or something like that, like minimal makeup and then a little glitter for fun on the eyelid, but that's just not the kind of makeup style that I wear. And glitter top coats is not something that I feel like I need. If I want to wear glitter, I am gonna wear glitter. I'm gonna use my Stila glitter and glows or my Bodyography glitters and put on a glitter that has some color underneath it, not just a sheer glitter. And these do get everywhere. They fall out so bad, even with a glitter glue. Every time I used this, I put a glitter glue underneath, and I would still get fallout on my face, and I would still get glitter in my eye. Every day that I wore this, I had to take out my contacts early because I would get glitter in my eye and it would irritate my eye. So for that reason, I actually am decluttering this palette. I had it set aside for this video, and then I'm getting rid of it right away. I'm not even waiting for my declutter series on this one. It is just gone. I just don't like it. It didn't work for me, so. All right, let's talk about another eyeshadow palette. This one I actually did get in PR as well. This one Sleek sent to me to try out, and this is called their Distorted Dreams highlighting palette. I did just talk about this in my face palette collection, and then after I talked about it, I was like, I should just pull that out and include it in this video because I don't like it. So there's 3 shades in here. These 3 shades are cream, and then the top shade and bottom shade that are sitting sideways, those 2 are powders. The creams, I do not like the texture of these creams. They are one of those where it moves around a lot, so it doesn't blend very good. It gets kind of patchy. It pulls up your makeup. It's just not a good formula for a cream. It's hard to find a good cream-based formula for a highlighter, but those ones are not. And then the powder highlights are just very dusty, very glittery, and I don't know, they just don't show up that good. And what ends up being left behind is just chunky glitter because the rest of it just kind of buffs away. So I don't know. I just wasn't impressed with this palette, and so yeah, that one's another one that I'll be getting rid of. And then the last palette that I have to talk about, this one I actually got in BoxyCharm. This is from the BoxyCharm and Pure collaboration. Does this even have, it just says it's 12-piece eyeshadow set. I don't know if it has a name other than Pure and BoxyCharm. I think the colors in here looked really pretty, and I was very hopeful for this palette, but the problem with it is that it was very powdery, it wasn't good quality, which is so weird because I have a lot of Pure eyeshadow palettes that I love. I think that their formula is usually really good, but with these ones, they felt like they just didn't have enough pigmentation, and then I kind of had to build up the pigmentation, and then throughout the day it just faded to nothing. So I was just not impressed with these. I didn't use every shade in here, but I used the majority of this palette, and I kept trying to make it work, and finally I'm like, I'm just not gonna try anymore. I don't have time for that. I've got other palettes that I enjoy using, so that was very disappointing for me as well. All right, I'm trying to go back and forth between PR and things I purchased myself. So here's another item from PR. This is the Ofra Cool as a Cucumber Primer. They sent this one to me to try out. I like the way it smells. It smells like fresh cucumber, so it has a nice scent. It's really nice actually. But it is supposed to, it says it's a moisturizing primer in one that hydrates, soothes, and smooths. It does have a cooling, soothing feeling, so I can see the soothing part. It's not hydrating. It's actually very drying on the skin. And it says it's supposed to smooth, but really it just leaves this super sticky feeling on your skin. It almost feels a little bit like a mattifying primer that gives you that really like grippy stickiness. But because they say it's supposed to be a hydrating primer, I was using this on the days where I felt like I needed hydration. So I would pair it with like my all-nighter foundation, where I never use my all-nighter without a hydrating primer or oil underneath, something to really give my skin hydration and plumpness and smoothness. But I put this on and this was like so tacky and sticky. So then the foundation went on patchy because it's sticking to it and you can't blend it properly. So this was just weird. Like even now I can still feel my fingers feel sticky, like I've got like honey on them, like sticky. It's weird. I don't understand it. I don't like it. I tried using it more like a mattifying. After the first couple times I tried it, I was like, this is not a hydrating primer. You cannot call this a hydrating primer. So I was like, I'm gonna use it like I would use a mattifying primer. So I think I might keep it for trying to use it that way, because in the summer my skin does get more oily, but right now it's so dry I cannot use this. Like it just is sticking to the dryness. It's making my skin look and feel drier. So yeah, it's just not advertised correctly. You can't call this hydrating. It's not hydrating. All right, so next up I have a drugstore product that I had purchased. This is from Milani. It's called their Hypnotics Lights Luster Light Highlighter. When I saw this, I was really intrigued. I've been looking for some good drugstore highlights. Most of my highlights are high-end, but I wanted a good drugstore highlight. And I think this is a pretty color. It's kind of a, I don't know if you can see it at all. It's really hard to see. It's kind of a peachy gold color. It's a very unique color. But I don't think you'll be able to see it, honestly. It's very powdery and it just doesn't show up very good on the skin. So I've tried applying it with different methods, like with a brush, with my finger, and it just doesn't show up. Like you can build it and you don't see it, and it's very, very chalky and powdery. So for me, this was just a total miss. I got some more PR products that did not work for me. This is from Covergirl. I got this in a huge package from Covergirl. I have one other product to talk about after these, but these are their new eyeliners. They're like a potted eyeliner. I don't like these. I don't like these at all. So there's a few reasons why I don't like them. Sometimes these liquid pots work fine for me, but these particular ones were just no good. So a few different things. First of all, the wand itself is too long and too thin, and then it's too flexible. So you end up feeling like you have no control at all because it's so flexible. I don't mind a thin tip on an ink liner like this. I actually prefer that, but when it's too flexible, you end up feeling like it's just, you don't know where it's gonna go. So that was a problem. Also, it bleeds really bad. You do have to shake it really, really good before you apply it. It bleeds really, really bad. It's so liquidy and it takes so long to set that you feel like it ends up making a mess all over your eye. There's a swatch for you. And it just takes so long to set. It just feels like it's gonna drip right into your eye. Like, I don't know if you can see how liquidy that is, but it just takes way too long to dry. It bleeds everywhere. And then when I finally did get it on my eye, it finally set, it was so hard to get it off at night, to the point where I felt like I was scrubbing my eyes and then like damaging my lashes. So these were really bad and I would not recommend them. All right, let's talk about another drugstore item that I recently picked up myself, just trying to find some new drugstore gems. I actually had asked you guys for some suggestions on things to pick up at the drugstore, things that were not necessarily new, but just things I hadn't tried. And someone recommended these Maybelline Superstay matte inks. So I picked up one shade and I don't like them, you guys. I really don't like them. They are very weird. They go on kind of goopy and sticky and thick. So that's that one. By the way, I have the shade, what shade do I have? Number 10 Dreamer. But they go on really thick and goopy, and they do take a long time to set, but once they set, they are so drying, like so uncomfortably drying. So I couldn't get on board with these. All right, next up, I actually have an item that I received in gratis when I was still working at Sephora. This is from the brand Pharmacy. I really wanted to like this. I like a lot of the products I've tried from Pharmacy, but this was a miss for me. And I know a lot of people love this. I can't do it. This is called the Honey Saver All-in-One Skin Repair Salve. It's supposed to be amazing for like really cracked, dry hands or feet, to the point where, you know, your skin is cracked and bleeding sometimes. That's what this is supposed to be for. It's just like an intense treatment to restore the health of your skin. Well, it just leaves your skin feeling really sticky. I know it has honey in it, so I feel like maybe that's what it is, but it leaves your skin feeling so sticky, and even after you leave it on, it just never sinks all the way in, and I just don't like the feeling of it, so I can't use this. And I do have other products that I've tried that can give me that intense hydration because my hands do get really cracked and dry. I can get that from other products without feeling that stickiness, so for me, I'm just not even gonna use the rest of that up. All right, and then the very last item I wanted to mention are these Covergirl Concealers. These are their brand new Vitalist Healthy Concealers. I think these were just not right for me. I think there are people who will love this product, but it wasn't right for me. The problem with this concealer for me was that it was too thin. It didn't give me enough coverage. It was like very thin and watery. It kind of reminds me of the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. So if you like the Urban Decay Naked Skin, you would probably like this, but I can't stand that concealer. It's not enough coverage for my under eyes because I have very dark circles. So for me, that was just a concealer I don't like, and this was too similar to that to me. So if you like that one, you would like these. If you need more coverage like I do, then this will not be for you. All right, you guys, those are all the products I wanted to mention in today's disappointed products video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, leave me some comments down below. Let me know what products you've recently tried that you were disappointed by. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.